I think that when we do things that we think gives us some kind of stable self, some kind of stable identity, I think what happens is we are kind of psychologically enticed to see them as something more than ourselves, which is kind of what we were searching for in the first place. Like identities, the point of them is to find a way to kind of define something, to describe ourselves to ourselves in a way that makes sense, that gives us some kind of sense of coherence. Like, okay, these people have a similar experience. I like what they're doing. I will take on this identity. This is obviously not exactly how the process happens, but in the mind, like if you're looking at it like processing wise, that's kind of what happens. Like we want to make sense of part of our lives, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. That can be very useful. But then something always happens through this process of internalization, which is that then identity kind of becomes something that owns you. It's not describing you anymore. It's really not. It's directing you. Because because we want to be part of this group. This group has given us a certain kind of self-understanding, and not having that self-understanding feels scary. Like you don't just learn, like when you do this, when you take on an identity, and maybe in the beginning it was an act of agency, but when you do that, it slowly corrodes in a way. Like it doesn't just say who you are, it also says what you support and what you oppose. And then that determines what you're allowed to become and what you're not allowed to become. And I've noticed that a lot of people spend years trying to discover who they are, trying to like find the correct label or category or whatever. And I understand why. The world is fucking confusing. Like identity is nice, it's stabilizing. It can feel like you're finally kind of home, like you're arriving somewhere. But there's a hidden danger in that, which you should already understand from the fact that it can feel good. The problem with identity is that it creates expectations, right? Like it becomes like a script. Like it's about a set of assumptions that you now have to take on, And at that point, when that happens, when this process corrodes, then you're not asking yourself what you want anymore. And that's when your desire becomes entangled with the expectation. And when that happens, you've lost, you know? You can get it back, of course, but that's a huge loss of that agency that you had initially when you chose this particular identity. And I don't want to say that like identities are oppressive. They're not necessarily oppressive, but they can become confusing. They can become dangerous. Like no label can capture everything that you are, and no category can keep up with a life that is still unfolding. The thing that you are is the unfolding, basically, and it's a constant unfolding. You will always be more complicated than